How's it going, everybody? This is Rob Novakast back with another video for you guys. Talking about more of Death Note. Episodes 25 and 26, and oh boy, they don't disappoint. So, without further delay, why don't we go ahead and get into this, and just so you guys know, spoilers ahead. If you guys have not seen the show, please do so. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into this. So, episode 25. Light wins. And I gotta say, especially when it comes down to the minds of both Light and L, it's kind of like a Holmes Moriarty type situation where both of them are very intellectually, smart, or if anything, they're very intelligent, and it's pitting one person's intelligence over the other. And sure enough, Light prevails. After the death of Hugichi, if I know I keep screwing up that stupid name, but after his death, they don't know what to do next. Especially now that there's no suspicion of, again, L thinking that Misa and Light are possibly Kira. We end up having more deaths occur, and it's Misa causing more people or more criminals to die. We actually had this really interesting scene with Misa walking around this, like, a city area in this really interesting goth getup, singing to herself, and we get to see one or two people die. Now, as it's immediately found out that more criminals are dying, they can't suspect Light or Misa due to the fake rules that the Shinigami put in, like Rem and Ryuk. So they have to figure out another lead, which in this case, they have nothing. And I gotta say, like, especially with everything that's been going on, this is really heavily focused on L to some regard. We have images of, I'm assuming, his past, with like a church bell and either a school or orphanage. We have Watori and a young L in one image or one scene. So again, it kind of makes you wonder if this is the past. In this episode, L is very kind of like disheveled, or seems very tired, and I think in some sense realizes that he's lost, because there is a really interesting scene where he's actually, I don't want to say interesting, more weird, where him and Light are talking while it's like pouring rain on the rooftop of the building that they've been staying in, and there's a point where L is drying Light off, Light doing the same to him, and he kind of makes a remark that they'll be parting ways pretty soon. And with everything going on, they get a call for everybody to show up in the the main, like, investigation room, where it's found out that Watori called them in and is dying because Rem wrote his name in the notebook. And after he or before he dies, I should say, he deletes everything involving the case. Sirens start to blare, Light turns red, and we see the death of L, as well as the death of Rem, because due to that little A Shinigami can die by saving a human a little bit, or that bit. Rem also dies. I was going to say perish, but yeah, I guess it's the same thing. But yeah, Rem also dies. Just so she can protect Misa. Because in some sense she realizes that Light, who is using Misa to write names in the Death Note again, might be a target. And Rem may have to do what she can to save Misa. And in turn, kill L. And sure enough, that's what happens. After L's initial death, Light, who is very, very happy of the results of what just happened, puts on a show where he is very distraught of the death of L, and makes a declaration to take down Kira and the Shinigami, even though, again, he himself is Kira. So, all in all, this has been a roller coaster ride of emotions when it comes to this episode, and we unfortunately get to see unfortunately lose. I would say probably a really interesting character, because again, when it comes down to their intelligence, L and Light are, in some sense, kind of like Sherlock Holmes and Moriarty in that regard. So, yeah, that sucks. Also, the villain wins. Yay! Alright, so episode 26, continuing with this video. I'm not gonna lie, half of it, there's not much to talk about because half of it is more of going over a lot of things that we've already seen with the last 25 episodes prior to the one I'm talking about now. And halfway through the episode, it goes over the plans for what our main hero, or our main characters, Light, Chief Yagami, Yatsuda, and our other investigators plan to do. For starters, they transfer all what's left when it comes down to the case onto a smaller computer, and basically they promote Light to being the new L, which in some sense kind of works in Light's favor because, again, he's back to being Kira. He also, especially with now that L and his money is no longer accessible, they decide to, or at least Light decides to rent out a one-room apartment where they would now use that as their headquarters for when they continue their investigation. After this turn of events, or at least this conversation, he also lets Misa know that, or at least proposes the idea of Misa moving in with him. Now, and it might just be me. It might just because of his manipulation, or I don't know. But I get this feeling that there might be a genuine, like, feelings, or, again, because I feel like it's just manipulation at this point. But there might be some genuine affection, or at least connection, to Misa at this point, to some regard. I mean, still using her for his own means, but at the same time, I don't know. That's the feeling that I get at this point when it comes down to these two. But yeah, it has Light proposing the idea of Misa living with him now. And the episode ends in kind of a weird way, and possibly setting up another character that may surpass L. Where we have a timer that goes off, and a individual, which at what looks like the orphanage, or at least one of the orphanages that L stayed at, mentioning or announcing the death of L to two individuals who, to some regard, resemble him, or resemble L. So who are these characters? We don't know, but I'm just going to say this whole situation becomes more and more complicated as we progress through the episodes. All in all, it's... Again, this particular episode, halfway through, it's just... Or at least halfway through it is not much to talk about, because, again, it just seems like filler. Or at least kind of like, hey, backstory, this is what happened prior to what's going on now. So, all in all, I will say that I am very much continuing this series, especially now with like what's going to happen, because we're at episode 26, or at least we're talking about episode 26 now, and I believe there is 11 more episodes to discuss. So I'm really excited. So with that, I think I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Truly appreciate it. If you guys can, please leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. If you guys want to follow us on social media, links are in the description down below, as well as check out our daily content and the weekly podcast. With that being said, this is Rob Novakast signing off. Have a good one, and take care. Peace.